Better late than never, right? Here's my WWE Smackdown live review. What's up, guys? This is Chase Aubrey here, bringing you this Smackdown live review. If you guys are watching this live with me, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. And also, follow me on Twitter at ChaseAubrey68. Participate in the chat. Share this on Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media device you have. And just tell people that Chase is on air talking about wrestling. Yeah, I know I'm 2 days late on this review. Tuesday night I watched the show, Wednesday I had a day off, and I just pretty much slept all Wednesday, and then I pretty much today was just doing other stuff, relaxing, working out. I hurt my wrist at the gym. I was doing like grip strength, right? And so when you do grip training, man, sometimes I can mess up your wrist, so my wrist kind of hurts a little bit, but it's all good. It's all good in my neighborhood. How are all you guys? Time to talk about SmackDown Live, and like always at the end of this review I'll take some questions if there's people watching, because who does SmackDown Live reviews 2 days late? Huh, this guy right here. I do SmackDown Live reviews 2 days late. That's just how I roll. Anyways, as always with the reviews, we talk about the least important stuff, and then we talk about the most important stuff. The most least important thing on this SmackDown Live was Heath Slater wanting the contract again. So Heath Slater went to Daniel Bryan, said that hottest free agent. You know, this is like probably one of the missed potential gimmicks ever. You know, I was looking forward to Heath Slater being a free agent because I was like, man, Heath Slater's pretty darn solid on the microphone. He has good comedic timing. This could actually be one of the best storylines that they have for him right now. And it's becoming a disaster. Like, I don't even want to see Heath Slater on my television. I am more confused how he's getting into the buildings. Like, I know he's still a WWE wrestler, but like, how? How is he getting into buildings? What in the contract said that he can go on to whatever brand he wants? So Heath Slater has a match next week, and he's going to go face off against the hottest free agent in Rhino. Who cares? I'm not looking forward to that match next week. Moving on forward. Up next, the Triple Threat Intercontinental Championship ladder. Triple Threat. Oh my God. My friend sent me some Instagram-ness. All right, so there was some Pokemon Go stuff, very serious information. But anyways, time to talk about the Triple Threat for the Intercontinental Championship. Well, it's not for the Intercontinental Championship. Number one contendership. It featured Kalisto, it featured Apollo Crews, and it featured Baron Corbin. And I was like, oh, wow. That's actually like the three right guys that should be going for the IC title right now. Good move right there. The match itself was a fun watch. I had fun watching this Triple Threat match. I thought it was a good matchup. And the right guy goes over in Apollo Crews. So I was like, you know what? Good stuff, WWE. But, you know, WWE, they decided to take it another step. It wasn't like WWE couldn't just, like, let you be happy Apollo Crews became the IC champion. No, because they still have to make Baron Corbin look strong. I mean, this is a guy that they hype up on the SmackDown brand a lot, put a lot of time and effort and video packages for. I mean, he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal this year, man. So they got to put some effort into him, right? So after the match, Baron Corbin's beating up poor little Kalisto. Apollo Crews being the babyface and Kalisto being his friend, he comes in and he, you know, beats up on Baron Corbin a bit. Then the Miz goes and he beats up on Apollo Crews, which is fine. You know, the champion just trying to take advantage. But then Baron Corbin goes and hits the end of days on the Miz. And here's a question here. It's like, why did Baron Corbin hit the end of days on the Miz? That makes no sense to me. I mean, this guy is not going for the title. I get it. You want to make Baron Corbin look strong and you want to keep his presence known and that this guy beats people up and that's about it with his character. But holy freaking shit, really? You're just going to have him beat up on the Miz like that and have your number one contender wasted? I mean, if you wanted Baron Corbin to be number one contender, you should have just made him number one contender. He looks stronger than both the champ and the number one contender in Apollo Crews. That makes no sense. I don't understand why WWE did that, where they had Baron Corbin look like the most strongest cat in the ring. They should have made sure that Apollo Crews or The Miz look strong, and especially because The Miz, you know, he is the Intercontinental Champion, and I know he's a heel, so he's not always supposed to look strong or dominant. But it's like last week he lost to Orton, and now this week he gets laid out by someone that's not even challenging for his belt. I don't know. That's just weird to me. That is just weird to me. What up, Joe James, and what up, Isaac Gray 555, who are here live with me in the chat. I apologize to all those people for my lateness on the SmackDown Live review. Yeah, so Triple Threat IC Championship, #1 contendership was fine. American Alpha made their debut. They took on the Vaudevillains. Short little match. That's all we had to see. That's it. He didn't see it, though. I saw SmackDown Live. What are you talking about? That's what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about SmackDown Live. I'm just saying, like, I didn't like that Baron Corbin freaking raised up on The Miz. That makes no sense. So, yeah. Vaudevillains lose to American Alpha. American Alpha looks good. Moving on forward to the next second. Not much to say here. I'm just happy that American Alpha debuted. I like American Alpha. They're just my favorite team. Oh, you're saying The Miz didn't see it? Yeah, but why did The Miz have to get attacked at the end of the segment? He's our champion. Gotta make him look strong. Gotta make the mid-card champions look strong now there, John. So, but I do like Miz and Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental title. It's been a match I've been wanting to see for quite some time, actually. So I'm actually very excited for that one. Now, moving on forward, it's time to talk about the women's division. Now, I had a fear they were going to do this, because I know WWE is trying to separate the brands way too much and everything like that. And my biggest fear was that they were going to bring in another women's title. I don't feel like they need another women's title. I think they are fine without another women's title. I really do feel like one championship is good enough, because if you have too much championships, you're diluting your championship brand. Because I know the women's champion as the women's championship, it's on Monday Night Raw. Why can't that person also defend on SmackDown? Yeah, you want to separate your brands, but I feel like, especially when you look at the women on Raw compared to SmackDown, besides Becky Lynch and maybe Natalya, you know, not a lot of those women are really all that great. And so with that being said, I'm not a big fan that they're going to bring a new women's title to SmackDown. And I wasn't a big fan of what they did with the women tonight on Tuesday night. In all honesty, I thought it was one of the stupidest things I've seen. So you kick off with Dan Bryan saying this, like saying, hey, man, you know, we're going to bring in a women's championship. Him and Shane are saying they're bringing in another women's title. And you have Becky Lynch versus Eva Marie. So instead of actually putting Becky Lynch over here, because for whatever reason, the WWE doesn't want to go all the way with Becky Lynch. It's like they like teasing you with her, but they never want to go the next step. They never want you to actually get fully behind Becky Lynch. I don't know why. They just don't like doing it. So instead of like giving Becky Lynch a good win over Eva Marie and maybe getting Eva Marie some more needed ring time, they had it where Eva Marie came out and she suffered an injury. Now I know a lot of IWC people. Oh no, she botched. She botched. No, it was a kayfabe injury. Yeah, it was such a kayfabe injury. Yeah, that was no botch. That was a kayfabe injury that they were trying to sell. So you telling me that you thought, okay, yeah, after we announced that we have a new women's championship coming, we're going to have to do it where Eva Marie suffers an injury? That's so stupid. I'm sorry. I'm being dead honest. That was like the dumbest thing. You don't just hype up that you have a new women's championship and then all of a sudden you do the women dirty like that. Show people why you have another women's championship coming. Show people who could be possible favorites to win that women's championship, you know? But instead they just had it where, you know, Becky Lynch, who is a possible favorite, couldn't get one over on Eva Marie. Eva Marie just freaking faked an injury, and I didn't like that. I honestly didn't like it. I thought it was a lame move by WWE. Look, if they wanted to do that and they had another women's match in the night, good. I'll be fine with that. I'll be like, okay, I get what they were doing there. But really, to be honest here, with that whole Eva Marie fake injury storyline, I thought it was the dumbest thing. I was like, come on, man. You guys can do so much better when it comes down to telling a story with these women. That's what I was saying. So, yeah. Not a big fan of the women's title being introduced on SmackDown. I feel like one women's title is good enough, but I guess WWE wants to really keep it separate. And I definitely wasn't a fan of what they did with the women here tonight. I felt they could have done a much better job with the women. Now, moving on to Randy Orton versus Fandango. I thought it was pretty funny that I was facing Fandango tonight. Or not tonight, Tuesday. Fuck. On Tuesday. I just think today's Tuesday, even though it's Thursday. The match was there. That's all you got to really say is just like the match was there or everything like that. The only thing that matters from this match is that near the end of it, Brock Lesnar came out and F5 Randy Orton, repaying the favor of what Orton did on Monday night. And then afterwards, Brock Lesnar was being escorted out. And then Brock Lesnar was like, hey, you know what? No one's going to fuck with me. Him and Paul Heyman drive off in the big black truck. And there you go. That was the segment. That was the segment right there. Was it as good as the Raw segment? I don't think so. Because the Raw segment was truly out of nowhere. Like, I don't know why they had to do this where Brock Lesnar had to come out during that Randy Orton's match with Fandango. I mean, if I'm Randy Orton, I wouldn't be pissed off if he did that to me during my match with Fandango. Fandango's a nobody. Compared to Randy Orton, Fandango's a nobody. So, like, to be honest here, I just felt the Brock Lesnar attack could have been a little bit more well executed. I honestly felt they could have waited a week more for Lesnar to attack, so that way you're on the edge of your seat more to see if Brock Lesnar will come out and attack Randy Orton. I felt like they could have waited on that one. I honestly felt like they could have waited. But, hey, you know, you have to keep Brock in your schedule. Maybe Brock wants to go hunting for the next 2 weeks. Who knows what Brock Lesnar likes to do on his time off. So, maybe that's why they did what they did. But I just felt the attack was kind of weak. Just my personal opinion. As I'm coughing up a fucking store. All right. Moving on forward to AJ Styles and John Cena. They're arguing. They don't like each other. Blah, blah, blah. Good promo from both men. Typical promo. AJ Styles challenges Cena. Cena, of course, being the great man that he is, he accepted that challenge. And that's what we have now is AJ Styles versus John Cena at SummerSlam. And it was kind of funny when I was like watching this feud, just watching them talk. I was like, man, why is it right now in the WWE, your mid-card feuds feel like they belong with the world titles that they have? I mean, I look at this and I'm all watching. I'm like, AJ Styles and John Cena should be for a world title. The match on its own, it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if AJ doesn't win, it's more of a waste of time because Cena doesn't really need to win at SummerSlam. Cena can put over AJ Styles. It'll be all fine. It'll be all good and dandy. But it's just like, you know, it's so hard to think AJ will win against John Cena at SummerSlam because, you know, everyone was talking about it with AJ and Jericho at WrestleMania. I remember telling people, Jericho's going to win at WrestleMania. Jericho's going to win at WrestleMania. No one believed me. Everyone called me a fucking idiot. Everyone said I was stupid for saying Chris Jericho was going to win at WrestleMania. They said, no, it's AJ's first WrestleMania. He's going to win. Yeah, well, you know a guy named Sting? It's kind of a big deal. It was his first WrestleMania a couple years back, and that dude didn't win. So what makes you think AJ Styles would win at his first WrestleMania? I mean, Sting didn't even win a match at WWE ever. Cena has never won at SummerSlam. What are you talking about? Isaac Gray, what are you talking about? Did you forget about SummerSlam 04? What about SummerSlam 07? Because I'm pretty sure Cena won at SummerSlam 07. I'm pretty sure he won at SummerSlam 07. So, I hope AJ does win. But it's just so hard when it comes to big pay-per-views with WWE. And even though AJ's been in the WWE for some time, and, you know, I think Vince McMahon does like him, it's just that it's so hard to really picture AJ maybe going over in this feud. That's the only problem. It's just so hard to picture AJ going off and winning. I know Cena's going to take time off, but he's going to take time off during the fall time. He's not taking time off right after SummerSlam. It's going to be like the last time where he took time off in October and then he will come back. Isaac Gray, what are you talking about? Cena won at SummerSlam 2004 and 2007. Don't tell me to look up shit when I know Cena has won SummerSlam matches. Yeah, he has a losing record, but when you say hasn't won ever at SummerSlam, that's kind of ridiculous. Let me go look up SummerSlam 04 for you, Isaac Gray, because I don't think you understand. Cena has won at SummerSlam. I don't know what this whole, Cena's never won at SummerSlam thing you're going on. Cena has won at SummerSlam. He's won, man. So let's see. Let me go to my screen share real quick. Let's screen share this so that way I can show you that I'm not lying. All right, we're on the Wikipedia for SummerSlam 04. And what does that say for SummerSlam 04? John Cena defeated Booker T. John Cena defeated Booker T. All right. So Cena did win at SummerSlam. Let's see, at SummerSlam 05. Oh, look at that. John Cena defeated Chris Jericho at SummerSlam 05 for the WWE Championship. 06, I know he lost to Edge because that was in Boston, and they were like, oh, no, Cena, you can't win in your hometown. Fuck that. No wrestlers ever win in their hometown. All right, we go to SummerSlam 07, and what do I see in the main event here? Oh, yeah, John Cena defeating Randall Keith Orton. See that? So what are you saying that Cena has never won at SummerSlam? I just showed you 3 SummerSlam wins. I know he lost to Batista at this event, that stupid Orton match at this event. Oh, even better. This tells you that freaking Cena wins at SummerSlam. He killed the Nexus at this SummerSlam. SummerSlam 2010, he killed the Nexus. He killed the Nexus at this SummerSlam. RIP Nexus. After that's game over right there, man. I don't need to prove myself anymore that Cena has won at SummerSlam, man. That's game over. It is game over, man. Game over. Cena's never won at SummerSlam. Bullshit. Yeah, I looked it up because I want to prove to you, Isaac Gray, that Cena did win. Shit. You all spreading false information in the chat. Yeah, you gotta speak the truth up in here. And I've showed you that Cena won at SummerSlam, man. Hey, Wikipedia is the best source, man. What? Like, if I go on WWE.com, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're stealing our fucking images. Fuck you, Chase." And I'm gonna be like, "Hey, I'm trying to do it for fun." So that's why I don't post thumbnails, because like WWE cracks down on that, man. They literally do crack down on that shit. It's kind of annoying, but they do. They really, really do. Isaac Gray, I was trolling. Well, it's hard to understand sarcasm on the internet when you're typing, Isaac Gray. Yeah, AJ does need to go over. There's no denying that. AJ Styles needs to go over John Cena. All right. I feel like I'm missing something that I haven't talked about on SmackDown. It's so weird because I always feel like I'm missing something when I do these SmackDown reviews now, because Raw's so long, so there's so much you have to talk about on Raw, but SmackDown is so much more condensed, and so sometimes you feel like you're missing something. But it's time for me to talk about the main event stuff, like for the championship, because I've covered everything else that I needed to cover and wanted to talk about. So the main event stuff tonight, after the opening, we had Ambrose and Ziggler go on and have a war of words, and it was a typical war of words. Ziggler doing his little yelling talk. I'm gonna show you all that I'm dead damn good. I was like, oh my god, just stop, dude. Just stop. I was like, Ambrose was good. I liked Ambrose on the mic on this one, but Ziggler, oh man, he was annoying as hell, man. Blue Knight, I talked about Brock Lesnar. I said I didn't like the tackle that much, man. Thought it was weak. But yeah, so Ziggler and Ambrose were having it. Ambrose was acting like a dick. I like this Dean Ambrose a little bit more. I like this Dean Ambrose. He's just being a dick to Dolph Ziggler, treating Dolph Ziggler like a jobber. He's all like, well, you're not that good. I'm the man of this place and shit like that. So Ambrose is doing good. I think they may be transitioning him more to a heel run. Maybe he will transition into a heel down the line. I mean, because the fans are kind of booing him a little bit anytime he insulted Ziggler. So that was pretty cool. And so then afterwards, Ambrose leaves the ring after pretty much insulting Ziggler. Bray Wyatt comes out, and Bray Wyatt, cuts his usual Bray Wyatt stuff, and he pretty much just says, hey, he's like, Dolph, if you're the real #1 contender, then why don't you put it on and show me why you are? And if you lose, I get your spot. And I was like, I didn't know Bray Wyatt was a fucking GM. When can you make these goddamn matches like this? And I guess Ziggler, who was knocked out, accepted this match, and that was our main event for the night. I was just like, oh my god, what? Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's cool that Bray Wyatt, wants to try to become champ. And at least Bray Wyatt's character is actually trying to do something instead of dick around and do whatever the fuck he normally does. But it was just so weird. It was just like he just came out and attacked him. Like, you lost last week, bro. And if anything, wouldn't AJ Styles be more bad at Dolph Ziggler for pinning him? I mean, really, because I think Bray Wyatt's pins got broken up by Cena and stuff. Not even Ziggler broke up his pins. If I was AJ Styles, I would have came out and attacked. But hey, it is what it is. So Dolph and Bray had a decent main event match in which Dolph Ziggler won, so he's still our #1 contender. Bray Wyatt beat up Dean Ambrose. Afterwards, Ambrose came out to beat up Ziggler. Bray Wyatt beat up Dean Ambrose, and I don't know what the fuck they're trying to do with Bray Wyatt. See, it's like Bray Wyatt and Baron Corbin this week. It was like WWE was like, oh, well, they didn't win, but we just need to make sure that, they look strong. It just made no sense to me, man. Just made no sense. Brody's had a sprained ankle for like ever, dude. He always has that ankle of his is like fucked up, man. He fucked that up. He fucked that up a long time ago against Taker. Remember, before the WrestleMania 31 match, apparently he was dicking around and he got hurt. And then ever since, it's always been that fucking ankle that's always been fucking him up, man. It's always fucking it up. So, yeah, that was SmackDown. Honestly, this episode of SmackDown, it was there. Yeah, so Dean Ambrose heel turn, kind of, I guess. I guess it's, you could call it. I mean, he's acting more like a dick. Like, that's what I like. Like, he's acting like more like a dick. Like that. Like, he feels entitled that he has a championship. He's like, no, you see this makes me the man. So I am the man and stuff like that. Like, he's acting like kind of like how JBL acted when he was champion. Remember JBL? Like, he was like the nobody, and then he won the championship, and then all of a sudden he called himself the wrestling god. That's what Dean Ambrose is kind of acting like. He's kind of acting like a dick. He's walking around. He doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, no, I'm the man. I'm the man. And then you're just like, oh, man, dude, I fucking hate this guy. So it's working. I mean, I personally like it more than him just being this lunatic fringe that they try to force down on us. I mean, I feel like he's a little bit more comfortable in this role. And I think now he can definitely turn heel a little bit easier because, you know, Bray Wyatt has babyface potential inside of him. So where was this team when he first won the championship? Stuck on Raw because he had to be there. So they had to make him a nice friendly guy to his good buddy Roman Reigns. But yeah, no, Dean Ambrose now, it feels like they're actually trying to turn him heel, which I think is better if Dean's the heel than Dolph Ziggler, because Dolph Ziggler heel turn, it just won't do anything for him. Dean Ambrose needs like that character change. And I feel Dean Ambrose, like, he's gone to a point in his career where like a lot of the casual fans maybe start to turn against him because like they're kind of like seeing like Dean Ambrose is not as perfect as they thought they were. So you have a good opportunity to make him a good heel character, especially if he's just such an asshole where you're just like, I can't respect this man. This guy's walking around in his stupid leather jacket and he's holding this championship and he's calling himself the man and he doesn't care about anything. But it's not like Austin coolness. You know how Austin was cool when he was doing that? It's more of just like, this guy is just a piece of shit that's too disrespectful for me. Like, I can't respect that shit, you know? So I think that's a good thing that WWE is doing. If that's the route they're trying to do, I hope it is. But yeah, SmackDown's just kind of there tonight, guys. It was not tonight, on Tuesday. It was just kind of there. Not a special episode whatsoever. Didn't really get me hyped up all that much for their matches for SummerSlam. You know, I felt Raw did a better job at hyping up the matches for SummerSlam than SmackDown. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Anyways, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section about SmackDown and WWE related stuff, and I'll answer as much as I can before I have to hop up. Gonna go wake up early to watch that Suicide Squad. Trying to see Russell Westbrook. Oklahoma City Thunder guy, re-signed. Good deal for him. Good deal. So I guess KD gave him a farewell message, and then Russell Westbrook just deleted Kevin Durant's farewell text. You guys don't know any basketball, but Kevin Durant, he's a basketball player, played for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and he left the team. And I guess he told Westbrook he was coming back. Blue Knight, you seen Suicide Squad on Saturday? Yeah. Critics are already hating on it. I don't know. I have to wait and see. I have to see it myself. I can't hate on it until I see it myself. But critics are really harsh on it already. I like that the super kick is getting over now. That move was getting buried. It's still getting buried. What the fuck are you talking about? Everyone uses that shit. Straight Shooter, do you like that Baron Corbin owned a fan that called him fat? Yeah. Dude, Baron Corbin's great with these fan interactions, man. Like, that's what I like about him. He's like, because Baron Corbin, you can just tell this guy's a fucking dick. Like, and that's what I like. It's like his character in real life, but turned up like 10 degrees and stuff like that, man. Like, you know, it's really damn good, man. I really like when Baron Corbin's a dick. Is the new announcer for Eva Marie the new Ricardo Rodriguez? I don't know, Johnny Green. I mean, I don't know. Probably not. Weston asked, will you be on the Team Hill podcast tomorrow? I was going to be on the Team Hill podcast tomorrow because I did have the day off. But I picked up a shift, man. Money's important, man. Money's important in this day and age. If you ain't making that money, you ain't doing it right. Yeah, that's how I live, man. I don't know how you guys are, but I care about money, man. Corbin's an asshole. Love it, says Joe James. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like when you can believe a wrestler is that character or is that person, that's what makes the best characters in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you try to make someone that they're not, it's just so hard to believe. So that's why Corbin's one of the. He's not a great character per se because we've seen a lot of asshole gimmicks, and it's not like his gimmick is changing the mold, but he is definitely a good guy. You know, he's definitely a good guy for that company. Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, Joke World title matches for SummerSlam. WWE is trying too hard to appeal to the YWC or the IWC, you said. Yeah, that is kind of true. I mean, not good world title matches. I mean, these have to be the worst world title matches since when? Like when we've had 2 world titles. Don't be like, oh, since that one SummerSlam with SummerSlam 2012. Like, no, there was only 1 world title. Like, think of a SummerSlam that had 2 world titles. And just think about which ones have worse title matches. I mean, because like SummerSlam in the past, if you look at the mid-90s, they've always had weak title matches in the mid-90s. I mean, you had Michaels versus Vader, you had Luger and Yokozuna, you had King Mabel and Diesel, man. Like, those are weak title matches. But I'm talking about in when we've had 2 world championships, this has to be like one of the weakest, man. Like this one or SummerSlam 04. SummerSlam 04 was pretty weak when it came to the world title matches because we had Benoit versus like Randy Orton, who was like Benoit was like kind of like no, I'm talking about for SummerSlam history, straight shooter, not fucking of all time. I'm talking about SummerSlam history, dude. That's why I wish people sometimes listen or just say like, hey, what is he talking about? Because I'm saying in SummerSlam history, when it comes to world championship matches, these are 2 weak ones, man. Especially in the 2 world title era. If you want to go with 2 world titles, this is one of the weakest. Like SummerSlam 04 was probably one of the weakest because you had Undertaker take on fucking Bradshaw, and then you had, like I was talking about earlier, Benoit taking on a young Randy Orton. So it's like it was like SummerSlam 04 definitely was weak as hell, man. Definitely weak as hell when it came to world title matches. I don't know which one's the weakest with 2 world titles. Post in the chat. Want to know what you guys think. I think SummerSlam 04, this one's pretty weak. I mean, the match quality is going to be great and awesome, but well, you have to, straight shooter, I'm saying like choose a SummerSlam with 2 world title matches because SummerSlam 09, it did have Punk versus Hardy and TLC. So like that's not weak. And John Cena and Randy Orton at the time was not a weak matchup because this was before that whole Cena and Orton bullshit. You know, that this was the start of the Cena and Orton bullshit feud in 2009. But like I'm talking about when you look at these matches on paper, when these matches are announced, these 2 main events are weak, man. I'm sorry for the World Championship. I mean, when I'm saying John Cena and AJ Styles are having a match, and Roman Reigns and Rusev are going to have a match, and Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton are going to have the match. Like, just think about this. Lesnar versus Randy Orton, no title. Cena versus AJ, no title. It's like, what? How are those 2 matches no title, man? Just saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it makes no sense. Because, like, when you look at SummerSlam 04, it was the same thing. Like, Triple H was beating up Eugene at SummerSlam 04. I think SummerSlam, I don't know. Which one's weaker, SummerSlam 2004 or SummerSlam 2016? Yeah, I know. That's the only thing that IWC cares about nowadays, man. It's just in-ring crap. Joseph Tilson said, too, IWC will be jerking off. It's like Ambrose and Ziggler, they've had matches before. None of them have been freaking good. None of their matches have been really good. And then Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, you know, Schleg Daddy said it the best, man. I love Schleg Daddy. He might be coming back soon if he gets a new laptop. But Schleg Daddy, like some IWC person wrote, oh, Rollins versus Balor is a dream match of mine. And then Schleg Daddy retweeted him and said, your dreams must be pretty sad then or pretty boring. Like, it was actually pretty funny. Let me go find that tweet. I'll screen share it for you. Shout out to the Schleg Daddy. Miss his work. He's a good guy in the YWC. Probably one of the better YouTubers when it comes down to it. So some people don't like him. I like a lot of his stuff, man, because he just tells you how it is. He doesn't fucking like bullshit you around, man. Where was it? Oh, okay. Here's a tweet. This tweet had me laughing. So because like he was going on this tweeting spree, pretty much just tweeting about like how much he did not like that. So this kid right here, Corey Brewer, said Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins is literally my dream match. And then Schleg Daddy goes, then your dreams are pretty boring. Just telling this kid, man, like, hey, you have some boring ass dreams. Seth Rollins and Finn Balor is a dream match to you, man. Like, I wasn't gonna say that unless I gave credit to where credit's due, man. So like that, he came up with that one. And I was just like laughing my ass off, man. SummerSlam 06 had better title matches. Mr. Juicy says, fuck John Cena versus AJ Styles. I want to see the real John Cena versus Randy Orton match. Oh yeah, man. I'm so tired of no freaking John Cena Randy Orton, man. I'm so tired of no John Cena Randy Orton, man. Where's John Cena Randy Orton at? They finally on the same brand together. Can we finally get this match? Straight shooter, he loves the muscle wrestlers. Yeah, but he like guys actually like take care of their bodies and actually look like champions, like Neville, for example, and stuff like that. SummerSlam 2008. Oh yeah, 2008 was pretty bad for championship matches. We had Triple H and Khali and CM Punk versus Bradshaw. That was that actually is a pretty bad year if you think about it. I mean, we had Punk. When Punk's not really a main eventer, taking on fucking Bradshaw and stuff like that. God, that's so sad to think about that one. Khali and Triple H. Triple H was trying to carry Khali, and to probably Khali's best match was against Triple H, in my personal opinion. Either that one or the Falls Count Anywhere match you was seen at like Extreme Rules. Blue Knight asks, do you prefer standard heel characters or rude dickhead heel characters? I prefer rude dickhead heel characters because standard heels nowadays, what is a standard heel? What's the standard heel? Back in the day, you knew what your standard cookie cutter heel was. Nowadays, I don't even know what a heel is, but if I know someone's a dick, I know they're a heel. So I like those characters more because there's a lot more things that you can hate about them and like vindicate them for than if you're just a standard heel that cheats, because it's like, well, yeah, I would cheat too in that situation. That just makes sense. But with like a dick heel, there's sometimes some things you can't like agree with. Straight Shooter asks, do you think Randy Orton should bring estrogen pills in his promos to diss Brock Lesnar? Yeah, that would help Brock, but Brock might eat them all. That's the only problem. Brock Lesnar may need some of his estrogen blockers. Maybe Randy Orton should bring a needle for him. Let's see. IWC will be jerking off. Oh, yeah. IWC is jerking off. Isaac Gray says, Sammy won't be on the SummerSlam card. Shaking my head. He has nobody to work with. That doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm good with that. No Sami Zayn. What, please? No SummerSlam. No fucking Sami Zayn. I'm good with that. Not a big fan of his. But Sami Zayn, like, honestly, it makes no sense. He beats Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens is going to find a pay-per-view match by teaming up with Chris Jericho to beat Enzo and Cass. So, yeah. Khali versus Batista in Punjabi prison? No, that wasn't Khali's best match. Are you kidding me? That was, oh, no. Any Punjabi prison match he was in was just terrible. Remember the first Punjabi prison match? It was like Batista and Big Show or some shit like that. Like, it wasn't even for Khali. It was like, oh. No, I don't like Sami Zayn. What, do I have to like him? Is he good or something? I like Sami Zayn in NXT because that guy actually had a character. This Sami Zayn makes no sense. They call him an underdog, but he wins 50% more of his matches. That's no underdog to me. That's not an underdog. How can you call someone an underdog if they're winning 50% of their matches? Just saying. Joe James, for me, I'd say 02 by far. For what's your best SummerSlam or my favorite? Personal favorite is 02. The best SummerSlam, 92. I like 92 a lot. I think that's like the best one. But I think my personal favorite is definitely 02. Like, you can sit through 02, man, and like any 02 pay-per-view, honestly, 2002, probably like the best consistent run of pay-per-views, man. Because like every pay-per-view was like consistently good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I really liked what's it called? That's why I really liked 02 a lot. Like every 02 pay-per-view is just good. Yes, Chris Bandicoot, I'm done reviewing SmackDown. Case and Frost, what do you think of Slug Daddy's video? Wrestler Wrestling sucks and everybody is to blame. It's one of my favorite O2R Essentials. What's yours? Oh, I like that one. Yeah, it was like 27 minutes long, and he was just like, he was just making fun of it. My favorite OTR Central video, it has to be Royal Rumble 2014 review when Batista won, and he just fucking destroyed those IWC people, man. Like, he just made the most logical sense out of anyone that was like reviewing that show at the time, man. He destroyed them all. It was great. He was like on the Batista bandwagon. So that's probably like my favorite one because it was just like, oh man, dude, he is just not holding back. Like, that's like when people want to know, like, oh, what's OTR Central about? Just watch that 2014 review, man. That 2014 Royal Rumble review. That's what OTR Essential is about. That's why you watch his channel, man, because the shit that he says, man, makes so much sense, dude. And especially when you watch certain reviews or videos of him, like in the future, damn, dude, half the points he says, he predicted it, man. You just look at it and go, like, yeah, he called it right there. He said that was going to happen, and it did. You know, so that guy ain't no moron, man. He knows what's up when it comes to wrestling, man. But yeah, so like that's my favorite video of his. The 2014 Royal Rumble review, Breakfast Club Rules, bitches. That's one of my personal favorites. And then he also had like I can't remember, all his TNA reviews are gone, but he had this one TNA review that I just remembered. I was like dying in fucking laughter. Of course, it had to do with the Jeff Jarrett position and everything like that. So yeah. Batista versus Leonard should have definitely happened. I know that I don't get why that match has never happened. Yeah, I agree with you, Joseph Tilson. He is the most entertaining man when it comes to the YWC when he gets going, man. Joe James asks, Batista, hope he has one more match before calling it quits. Yeah, I hope so too, man. I honestly do not know why Batista's fascination is to have one more match with freaking Triple H. Like, I'm always like, Batista, man, why the fuck do you always want to have this one match with Triple H to end your career? So yeah. Johnny Green, thoughts on Kenny Omega? He's a nice talent. I like him. Think he's very charismatic. Think he knows how to have fun. Will he work on the WWE level? Maybe in a couple years. But right now, I think he's doing his thing on the independents and probably being one of the two best independent wrestlers in the world right now. I mean, him and Ricochet, you know, they're kind of like the kings of the independents right now when you look at things. And also the Young Bucks. You can't discredit the Young Bucks too. So those three, you know, they're finding their way. They're doing their good job on their own. And I think Kenny Omega, he's a nice talent, but not ready for WWE just yet. I feel like right now he should just be doing his own thing. Maybe in a couple years, jump ship whenever he wants. But yeah, he's good, you know, good charisma, really good in-ring worker. Will he draw a lot of money? That's up to the writers, and that's up to him if he wants to draw all the money. I would like to see him bulk up more, but it is what it is. Isaac Gray 55, Batista now coming back. I would be surprised if he do. You never know with wrestling. Anything can happen. But Batista on Royal Rumble 2014 was total BS. Oh, yeah. It was funny, too, man, because it was like everyone missed Batista. And, like, I'm being dead honest here. If Batista was actually kept as a surprise for the Rumble and not, like, announced beforehand that he was going to come back, I honestly feel like Batista would have been much more accepted. Like, just imagine it's, like, not number 30, but it's number 22, right? So you at least Big Dave gets some ring time. And so it's just like all of a sudden you're sitting there watching that Rumble, and then all of a sudden you're, oh, I don't think the Philadelphia fans would have booed. I think they would have generally popped. They would have popped, and they'd be like, what the fuck? Batista's back. And then just having Batista win in a shocking manner like that would have been cool. Like, that would have been like the best thing. I feel like if they would have been able to keep it under wraps and just keep it a little bit quiet, that Batista coming back at the Royal Rumble the way he did, I don't think the fans would have shitted hit on him at all. They would have just been excited that the dude's back. They're going to be like, what the fuck, Batista's here? And just seeing that he's number 2, like one of the final 4, no one would think Batista would win. And then when he wins, it's one of those good, surprising wins because you know the guy's a good worker. You know the guy's a good talent when his head's on straight. And it would give you like a surprise thing that barely happens nowadays in wrestling. Nowadays in wrestling, everyone knows what's up. Everyone has their dirt sheets. Everyone knows who's where. Like, people take pictures of these wrestlers when they're in the airport and everything like that, man. You would have just kept it under wraps. Hey, Batista is coming back to wrestle and everything like that. Oh, Batista would have came back and he would have been cheered for sure. Because we love surprises in wrestling. I don't think he would have been booed out of the building, man. Like, people just booed him because they realized what was up. Alrighty then. Eva Marie is going to be SD Women's Champ. Spoiler. That's not a spoiler. It's a prediction, if anything. Straight Shooter. All right. Olay Sammy says the cleaner. Oh, yeah, the Chris Jericho light-up jacket where he wore the Christmas lights. Actually, that was pretty funny when he did that. Yeah, in the SummerSlam 2015 review. Joe Juicy says SummerSlam 2001 is an underrated SummerSlam. If you look at from an in-ring standpoint, the only reason it doesn't get talked about a lot is because it took place during the Invasion storyline. Yeah, man, they fucked over Booker T. Like, Booker T got fucked over by that pay-per-view, too. Samuel Olay asks any opinion on Adam Cole. He's a good talent. I like him. I just don't think he's one of the – he used to be the king of the independents for a little bit when he was, like, holding the PWG and the Ring of Honor Championship together. Like, he was doing good, but – you know, obviously PWG and ROH had their talent differences and everything like that. So, you know, I feel like Adam Cole's still good talent, I think, but I do have Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, and Ricochet at this current time ahead of him when it comes down to, you know, just power rankings and stuff like that. I think those three are better than him. But my personal favorite on the independents is Okada. From New Japan. I don't know if I can really consider him an independent wrestler because he wrestles for New Japan, but outside of WWE, Okada's number one. It's not even close. Super good. There's this new Asian indie wrestler in NXT, and the IWC are praising him to the moon already. Your thoughts? Oh, Ibushi? Ibushi's good. I like Ibushi. I don't think they should be praising him already. But he's a great worker. He's not like Shinsuke though. He don't give that natural charisma like Shinsuke Nakamura does. Kota Ibushi's charisma is more like he's a great punching bag. You just see this guy get his ass kicked a lot, and you start feeling that sympathy, man. He's a good little punching bag, that's for sure. That's where he's gonna draw all his money, man, is when he does the fire ups and everything like that. But I like Ibushi, man. Him and Nakamura had a good match like a couple of years ago at fucking the Tokyo Dome show. I forgot the name of it. I think it's just called the Tokyo Dome show. But yeah, you know, Ibushi's a good wrestler, but he's not like a world champ material guy. He's more of a guy that you use in the mid card every once in a while. So, but you know how wrestling fans are, especially WWE fans. They like to overrate everything. All right, then let's see. No, I did not watch the Comic-Con video yet, Chris. I've been busy with other stuff. Straight Shooter asks, I don't hate Batista, but I felt sorry for him when he was in the position in the first place. WWE writers sometimes can make dumb decisions. Yeah, Joe James, Batista is one of the biggest stars in recent memory, man. He's successful, too. He's a great inspiration. You like, when people, like, tell you, oh, don't worry about your age and shit like that, Batista's, like, a great example. I mean, he was 36 when he won the World Championship, and now he's, like, in the mid-40s, and he's, like, starring all these movies. So, yeah. Straight Shooter, what did you think of Bobby Roode's new theme? Oh, glorious. The name of the song says it itself. It's a glorious theme. It's a very good theme. I like it. It fits his character. Still not my favorite Bobby Roode theme. Obviously, my favorite Bobby Roode theme is Off the Chain Instrumental. Oh, that was such a great heel theme for him. Like when he was the heel champ in TNA, man. Oh, that was such a great theme, man. It was just so dicky. It was just like, yes, I loved his Off the Chain. But this Glorious theme is pretty damn good. This Glorious theme is pretty damn good. Becky Lynch asks, needs to be the face of SD's women's division, her and Alexa Bliss. No arguments for me there. Andrew Mix, RKO, hope Randy wins, man. Oh, he's going to win at SummerSlam. Brock may be in hot water. Joseph Tilson, remember how terrible the Divas division was like 5 years ago? Oh, yeah, 5 years ago. 5 years ago, what was Natalya and Beth Phoenix's name again? What was their little tag team? The Divas of Doom. Remember the Divas of Doom were trying to do the Diva Revolution shit before the Diva Revolution came apart? Like, they were beating up on Kelly and, like, Eve Torres. The Divas of Doom, man. Gochi Man asks, who are vanilla midgets you hate that the IWC overrates? For me, it's Daniel Bryan. Yup. Sami Zayn. Yup. Davey Richards. Yup. Roderick Strong. Yup. Hell yeah. Fucking hate Roderick Strong. Oh my God. Oh, just disgusting. Zack Sabre Jr. is getting on that level for me. Like, I feel I hear his name way too fucking much, man. Finn Balor, oh, you best believe Finn Balor's not on the Chase Oliver love list, especially because he's getting shoved and everyone's like, oh, it's awesome, even though it's stupid because you hate on someone else getting shoved. So, yeah, those are people. We have the same mindset, Gucci Mano guys we hate because of the mostly because of the IWC. It's not that they suck. Like, Daniel Bryan doesn't suck. He's a good wrestler. Sami Zayn doesn't suck. He's a good wrestler. Davey Richards is an asshole, but he's still a good wrestler. And Roderick Strong's a good wrestler. It's just that they overrate him too much to the point where you just don't want to support them. You're just like, fuck that shit, dog. I don't care how good you are. But nowadays, also, it's so hard to say who's a good wrestler because, like, everyone, I guess, is now good. Blue Knight asks, he does have charisma, but the IWC should not overrate him. Oh, Nakamura, yeah. Nakamura, it's like he has natural charisma, but everyone's like, God damn it, man. Like, they're just like when they like everyone has to be a world champ apparently nowadays. That's what I hate. All right, let's see what else. Johnny Green said, funniest scene I've seen on Monday Night Raw was a pre-show and how Bob Backlund is trying to make Darren Young great again. Tassino then asked when he was ever great to begin with. Yeah, that was funny in that little promo and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, I didn't talk about that in my Raw review either. I think I just glanced over it. Straight Shooter asks, I think Nakamura can be a big dropper to WWE for the Japanese audience. Yeah. Ole Samuel Ole, why do you hate the cruiserweights? I like Neville. I like AJ Styles. I don't know what you're talking about that I hate the cruiserweights. Neville, can I say Okada's my favorite independent wrestler? I think I said good things about Ricochet, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega just earlier. I don't know. I guess I do hate cruiserweight wrestlers, right, guys? Just a big old muscle mark. I'm just a big old muscle mark because I just don't like certain wrestlers. I'm not allowed to. It's okay for you to hate on people, but when I hate on someone, I just hate cruiserweights all of a sudden. Even though I'm AJ Styles. How many times have I defended Neville? Like, how many of y'all remember every single time I talk about Neville, I always say this guy should be like a good mid-carder and everything like that, and one day be our little main event hero. I like Neville, man. Neville's great. AJ Styles is great, man. When AJ Styles wins a championship, you best believe I'm going to mark out, man. Best believe I'm going to mark out for him winning that fucking title. I feel AJ Styles is one of the few guys, if he wins certain matches, but I feel like he's one of the few guys that WWE actually has, like, built up properly in quite some time, in my personal opinion. In today's WWE, he's been built up pretty damn good, you know? So, I like AJ Styles a lot. I don't know why people think I hate cruiserweights. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I like Seth Rollins, too. Seth Rollins is a cruiserweight, right? Kalisto. Kalisto's one of my favorites. I like Kalisto, too. Kalisto's fun to watch. Apollo Crews. I like Apollo Crews. Everyone knows I'm a huge Apollo Crews fan. Yeah! So, I don't know. I don't know why people assume I hate just all cruiserweights. I like some, but I hate some, too. It's natural. Daniels, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, I think those are two wonderful talents. You know, I wish they had a chance in WWE one day, but okay. Chase, who's your favorite out of Schleg Daddy's infamous Fortunate Four? Edge, Batista, Orton, and Cena. Oh, fuck Edge. I hate Edge. Edge is my least favorite wrestler of all time. Quite honest with you, from a politicking standpoint, it has to be Cena because half of his backstage politics are really fucking funny. But my personal favorite of all time, I know everyone thinks it's Randy Orton, but it's Batista. I always love Batista, man. Because, like, Orton, he had his weird moments where you would just, like, disappear, and you're just, like... And I didn't have the internet at that time where I could look up that he got suspended or he was throwing plants or shitting in Divas' bags. Like, Batista was just always so fun and cool for me to watch. Still love Randy Orton. Still like the guy. But definitely Batista was my favorite. I do not care about WWE 2K17, Chris Bandicoot. Angry Mark says, by the way, Chase, I got a computer. Well, it's about damn time, but we need to buy something that it needs in order to work. Well, that sucks. Joseph Tilson, WWE roster is going to be stacked with guys like Samoa Joe and Aries move up and guys like Benjamin MVP coming back. Oh, yeah, it's going to be stacked. I like Samoa Joe, too. I don't know what Ole Sami is all like. Aries. Who remembers me praising Aries for NXT TakeOver? You can go on my Twitter, and I praised Austin Aries, and I said he's one of the best workers in the world. CM Punk's still in my channel banner. Like, CM Punk's still in my channel banner, man. I don't know what this whole like, oh, I hate cruiserweights is all about. Didn't I say I like Ibushi? I just said that they shouldn't be overrating him. I'm sorry, Ole. I just hate when people like assume that I just hate cruiserweights. It's just like, yeah, there's a lot of them I'm not fond of, but it's just like I wish they had better progression. I hate their characters more than I hate the wrestlers. I think they're all good talents. I think they can bring their own little thing to the world, but I'd rather see them get progressed properly. My independent wrestler isn't from America. He's from Great Britain. All I can say is that he'll make the better for the WCPW, and he is a local hero. Who is it? Will Ospreay? Joe James asked, best TNA wrestlers, your favorite top 5. My favorite TNA wrestlers, top 5. All right. Number 1's AJ Styles. No doubt about that. Number 2 is Samoa Joe. Number 3 is Bobby Roode. Number 4, Abyss. And I was like itching my nose. That's why I said fuck, because like my nose has been itching this whole fucking stream. So I was like trying to get to say Abyss's name, and I was like fucking itching it. Number 4, Abyss. Like Abyss, always he's like the big lovable punching bag of TNA, man. Anytime someone needed to put someone over, send the monster Abyss at him. I like this theme song. I like this stuff. So yeah. That's just how it is. So I like Abyss. Number 5, that's hard. Because Daniels doesn't really crack my top 5, because Daniels was always feuding with AJ, so it always annoyed me sometimes. I'm not a big James Storm guy. I like James Storm, but I'm not like the hugest James Storm fan. I mean, I was so pissed off when he won the TNA World title before Bobby Roode did. I'll say Aries, I guess, but like I consider Aries more of a Ring of Honor dude than I really do a TNA guy. But I guess Samoa Joe's more of a Ring of Honor guy than a TNA guy too, huh? So I'll say Aries is my 5th one. But yeah, those are my top 5 TNA favorite wrestlers of all time. Abyss is a new member of the Wyatt family. Greg Tumor, Zack Sabre Jr. is really overrated. He looks skinny as fuck. I work out in gym and a lot and gruesome muscles. If you check out the new picture, I look more fit than him. Yeah, man. Yeah, I like. I see. That's the problem with Sabre. It's like he's supposed to be a technical wrestler, but like the thing about technical wrestlers is that like they're supposed to have crazy ass grip. Now, I'm not trying to say you need to have big muscles to have crazy grip, but he just doesn't have the appearance that he would have like a crazy grip that would make him do all the things that he does with an opponent's leg. Like watching his matches, sometimes they look too fake for me. Samuel Ole asks, oh, so is there a difference between vanilla midget and cruiserweight? I see a bunch of haters. Why are you hating? Honestly, there's no difference between vanilla midget and cruiserweight. A vanilla midget more is just someone that is white, black, Mexican, or whatever. They're smaller than what you think they should be, and they're pretty much kind of dull, boring, no personality whatsoever. They don't really have the charisma. Like Benoit was a vanilla midget because he was just dull, but he was a good wrestler, so he kind of like hid that. And then back in the day, there wasn't a lot of Chris Benoits on the roster. That's what people don't understand. The reason why Benoit and Guerrero were so successful at the time during WWF/WWE was there wasn't a lot of wrestlers like them on the main roster, so they stood out a little bit more. That's what helped them out. But yeah, cruiserweights are kind of like, I guess they are kind of different. They're kind of the same in a way because they're mostly smaller wrestlers, but vanilla midgets are guys that kind of lack charisma and lack the look. They just kind of look plain and boring, you know? They just look like normal human beings, and you just don't understand why they're wrestling, you know? Why don't you go work at Walmart or something? But cruiserweights are more like they're just gifted athletes, and they can do cool things. But they kind of sometimes can fall in the same category. Oh, yeah, Batista's entrance is good. Yeah, no, it's Davey Richards. I don't know what happened to him. He got injured in TNA. That's why he's not really doing much. Eddie Edwards just having a decent run. I don't know why they buried him. No, they didn't bury him, but like why they what's it called? They gave the belt to Lashley. Like Lashley's now our X Division champ. Like I was like, what the fuck? Why they do that? Why they do Eddie Edwards dirty like that? Like Eddie Edwards was like so weird in TNA, man. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like they give the X Division belt to him just for Michael Bennett to become X Division champ, and then later on he wins it back just to lose to Lashley. It was like that made no sense to me. Would you have liked to see an Abyss and Kane feud? Yeah, I would have liked to see that. That seems like a good feud, man. Joe James asks, did you hear the rumor he almost jumped the ship to WWE in 06? Yeah, he did an interview. So, yeah. No, don't send me any 2K17 screenshots. I don't care about WWE 2K17. Your favorite out of the Radicals listed from favorite to least. Well, least favorite, we all know who that is. Perry Saturn. Fuck him. Then Dean Malenko. Then Eddie Guerrero. And then Chris Benoit. Being that honest. I was always a huge Benoit fan. That's why sometimes it's hard for me to talk about him. But, you know, if I don't forgive him. I honestly don't. But after hearing like Nancy's sister on Talk is Jericho, I'm not going to be as cruel as him. I'm not going to be as cruel on him as I was in the past because, like, you know, if Nancy's sister can find it in her heart to kind of give this guy some forgiveness in his life, and God, I can't talk. It's such an emotional thing to talk about. If Nancy's sister can find a way to open up her heart and give a little bit of forgiveness towards him, maybe I can try to do the same thing. Not 100% forgiveness, but some forgiveness. But I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he should be celebrated for his career or anything like that. You know, that's just ridiculous. But he was a tremendous talent when he was alive and healthy. Straight Shooter asks, no, Chase, it's Joe Henry. This guy has a lot of potential as a character. Maybe we'll end up in the WWE someday. And also, he was a Russian guy in the medal ceremony for Rusev, the one in the left. Okay. Crazy how TNA ruined two of their greatest chances to build the face of their company. Oh, yeah, and AJ and Joe, instead of building up Angle, even though I love Angle and he was a WWE guy. Yeah, that made no sense, man. Like, it was like if TNA ever was in trouble, they would always give, like, the belt to Sting. They were like, oh, we need to give the belt to Sting. I mean, let's look at the TNA world title history, actually. And it is kind of relevant to talk about TNA, too, because TNA was tonight. Matt Hardy was fucking Matt Hardy, dude. That guy's like the best gimmick in wrestling right now, man. Like that homie right there is just a savage. He like he's so funny, man. He's all even a fucking fan, man. Oh man, that shit was great. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing, man? So yeah, so we're gonna look at the title history for TNA and just see how many TNA originals really held that title. Because if you think about it, not a lot of them actually held the belt, and that's what kind of held them back a little bit, was that not a lot of the original guys held the championship. It was always like older guys that won the championship, man. It was never like TNA blood originals and everything like that. So we got to start with the NWA championship. That's going to be a lot of fucking scrolling because there's a lot of NWA champions, of course, on Wikipedia, because where else would we go for this great knowledge? Let's see who the current NWA champion is. It's still Rob Conway? No, it's not. Rob Conway, man, look at that. How many times he's held this belt? Like, look at this shit. 294 days. Rob Conway. Holy fucking shit, dude. Why is Rob Conway holding this title for way too fucking long? Jax Dane. Who's this guy? Let's go look up Jax Dane real quick, guys. He's a current NWA World Heavyweight Champion, guys. Let's see what this guy is. What the fuck? Look at this goof. He started pretty recently, 2012. Oh, he works for NWA Houston. His nickname is Godzilla. Man, everyone wants to talk about movesets with Roman Reigns. This motherfucker only has two. Or maybe that's it. He has a spear and a spine buster. That's his finishing moves. He's like the NWA monster right now. Look at him. He's like world champ, then the North American champ, and then national heavyweight champ. Look at him. He's like fucking he was ranked number 140 on the PWI top 500 singles wrestlers in 2015. That's actually interesting. We'll go look at this list. We'll go look at this list later. We'll go look at the top 500 wrestlers later. Let's go look at TNA World Champs now. So that's the current NWA World Heavyweight Champion, guys. Jax Dane. Jax Dane. Let me just check on this real quick. Just trying to see. The worst theme song ever. Current NWA is a joke. It seems pretty jokish, man. Like, I don't know. I know Dynasty, it's good that you can list it, but it's fun with a visual image. It's fun when we have a visual image to make fun of. Alrighty then. So, and TNA's first world champion was Ken Shamrock, MMA, UFC, WWE guy. Their second world champion is Ron Killings. I guess you can kind of say he's a TNA original in some sense. Jeff Jarrett, WCW, then AJ Styles, then Jeff Jarrett again, then AJ Styles, then Ron Killings, Jeff Jarrett, Ray Gonzalez, AJ Styles, Raven, Jeff Jarrett, Rhino, Jeff Jarrett, Christian Cage, Jeff Jarrett, Sting, Abyss. Abyss had probably the worst title win ever, man. Look at this. Abyss defeated Sting by disqualification after Sting pushed the official. That's how Abyss became a world champion. Because like the NWA had this stupid rule that if you got disqualified, you lost the championship. So yeah, so then Abyss won it again, and then Christian Cage won it. So when you look at it, out of all the people that have won this belt, all like ECW, WWE, WCW guys, AJ Styles, and I guess you can argue Ron Killings too. You can argue for Ron Killings. Those are the only two that won as TNA dudes. All right. Now let's go to the TNA World Championship. This is even worse. So your first champion is Kurt Angle, but remember, Christian was still the NWA champion, and there was that controversial double finish, and so between Sting and Kurt Angle, because Christian tapped out to 2 or whatever, 2 submissions. So Kurt Angle was like champion for a minute. Then they had the King of the Mountain match where Kurt Angle kind of turned heel, I guess you could say. I can't remember this match all too well. Whichever one's the King of the Mountain were Joe. Remember when Joe gave Kurt Angle the championship? That was like the funniest shit ever. I was like, what the fuck, man? Got kidnapped by ninjas and they showed him the way. So yeah, Kurt Angle is the second TNA champion. So another WWE guy, Sting, WCW, Kurt Angle, WWE. All right, and Samoa Joe is now champ. So there's a TNA guy right there. So maybe he should lose it to Bobby Roode. Now we'll just have him lose it to Sting, and then we'll give Mick Foley a shitty championship run because fuck it, it's Mick Foley, and we're paying him a bunch of money anyways. Then Kurt Angle can just win it back, and then finally we can do something sensible and give it to AJ Styles. But instead for AJ Styles dropping it to maybe a Bobby Roode or a James Storm or Kazarian or someone that is a TNA guy, Rob Van Dam, who is just debuting, can go and win this title on Impact, brother. And then RVD doesn't have to lose the title because Janice hit him. Remember Abyss had Janice and fucking killed RVD? So yeah. So RVD doesn't have to lose the title, man. Not at all. RVD is cool. He's great. Jeff Hardy wins the championship in a triple threat. And I remember, dude, that TNA title, it felt like vacant forever. When RVD had to vacate it, man, it felt like it was never, ever going to have a champion, man. But yeah, this is when Jeff Hardy turned heel. So WWE guy, Mr. Anderson, this is Mr. Anderson winning this for the first time. And then he just lost it like a month later to Jeff Hardy. And then Jeff Hardy lost it 2 days later to Sting. And then Mr. Anderson wins it again. And I remember that was so weird that Mr. Anderson won it because Sting won it at the next TNA taping. Like, what the fuck? And then Kurt Angle wins it. And this was famous because he was defending against Bobby Roode at Bound for Glory. And Hulk Hogan on a radio show said, Bobby Roode's not a world champion, brother. So we give it to James Storm, who had it for like a minute. And then Bobby Roode, so there's a TNA guy. Austin Aries, ROH TNA guy. And then Jeff Hardy and Bully Ray traded the title. WWE, WWE, Chris Sabin, TNA, WWE, another TNA guy, AJ Styles, Magnus. Oh God, his reign was terrible. This was one of the worst reigns ever. Oh, Psycho EY, Eric Young became champ just to lose to my boy Lashley. And then Bobby Roode, Lashley, Angle, EC3. And the sad thing is, like, EC3's title win should have meant so much more, man. But they kind of ruined it, man. Matt Hardy, and that led to broken Matt Hardy. Ethan Carter III, Matt Hardy, Drew Galloway, Lashley. So when you look at this shit right here, when we look at the TNA World Title situation, yeah, man. Yeah, that's just how it is. So we looked at the TNA title situation. Oh, yeah, Angle held all the titles, man. I forgot about that. Him and Joe, what was that? Hard Justice 07. They had the all championship match, the championship glory match. I forgot what the fuck that was called. That shit was funny. Hey, Chase, do you think if it were 1998 all over again, that most of these indie guys would be jobbers? Some of them would, but not all of them. Yeah, Janice, Abyss's best friend or girlfriend or whatever. Like that little barbed wire bat that they had. Straight shooter. Man, Jeff Jarrett just couldn't run the company. His ego was too big, and he wanted to be a world champion because he could never be a world champion in WWE, and WCW just gave it to him when it was bad. Yeah, Jeff Jarrett is a prick. I thought it was at the B4G. B4G. Bound for Glory? Oh, I was at that Bound for Glory where Hardy won or when Angle won? Because remember, I wasn't looking at the chat. Yeah, EC3 is pure money, but WWE, not WWE, TNA messed up with them because like the fans just weren't interested when he won the title. Joe James. They also had Matt Morgan, the Blueprint, who I thought wasn't that bad, could have been a main eventer. Yeah, man, that's true. What were your thoughts on Raw and the Truth Killings NWA heavyweight title run? They were both short. There's not really any honesty. Like, to be honest, not a lot you could say about it. So now let's go look at the PWI top 500 wrestlers 2015 list. The PWI 500. I'm going to look that up. PWI 500 2015 list. We're gonna break this down. So this is thank you to ProFightDB.com for this top 500 list. We're not going to look at everyone. If there's names that pop up, we'll discuss this and we'll Google search them because that's what we're going to do. Sounds like fun, right, guys? I think it's going to be fun. All righty, then. So this is the PWI top 500 list. Yeah, no, True Life Crew was awesome. I'm just saying, Ronald Troop Killings didn't really have that many good title run. All right. So we have Space Monkey, Cheeseburger. At least they have names. Space Monkey. The Space Monkey. That's funny. They don't even know where he's from. All right. Let's see. I'm looking at Jack Evans. Look at Jack Evans. He's like 454, man. This was like 07. Jack Evans would be top 100 easy. I remember Jack Evans, dude. That dude used to do some crazy ass flips back in the day. Back when like flips weren't like that big of a deal. Jack Evans, man, he was like the one doing all the crazy flips. Like he was like the first one that I can think of that did the 630. Like he was like the only one that I knew that could actually pull that off. Let's see. So these guys, most of you guys won't know these names unless you guys like actually freaking follow like the depths of hell when it comes to independent wrestling, man. Stockade, Superfly, Shane Matthews. Oh, Grado. Grado is 392. Congratulations, Grado, TNA star. Some of these names, man, you just look at these names and you're just like, hey, there's fucking other Roman Reigns' cousin, Lance Anoa'i, Roman Reigns' other cousin. So many Samoans up in here. Jimmy Havoc. Wow. He still wrestles? I heard he suffered an injury. Oh, there's Jesse Swordston. Remember him? He broke his neck, and then TNA gave him that contract, and then he asked to get out of that contract. Oh, Trevor Lee. Trevor Lee made it on the list, former X Division champ. Good for him. What up, Willie Mack? Look, Willie Mack's on this list. That's cool. Cool for Willie Mack. So there's just some other names. Look at Ty Dillinger. He made it. He's ranked 328. Wait, Teddy Hart still fucking wrestles? I didn't know Teddy Hart still fucking wrestles, man. He's ranked 322, man. Teddy Hart's still going around? That's fucking hilarious. What up, Chavo? Ooh, Chavo. Sanjay Dutt. Alrighty then. So now we're moving on to the top 300. See what you guys are reacting to the list. I'm just going to check the chat right now. Sonic the Hedgehog, this is cancer. That sucks, man. PWI 500 does not matter anymore. Yeah, but it's funny to look at. I just want to look at it. Pride Fun Man asks, why would men touch each other like they do in professional wrestling? I find this type of content unacceptable for my children and promotes homosexual and violent behaviors. Alrighty then. Did you watch 12 Rounds 2 Reloaded starring with Randy Orton? If you did, what did you think of it? Yeah, it was actually pretty good WWE Studios film there. Gaw asked, you think Mick Foley's TNA World title run was forgettable? Yeah, it was really forgettable. Super forgettable. All right, that's the list of TNA World Champions. Let's see any more noticeable names of these lists. Solomon Crow's on this list. Joey Ryan's like 223. Like, what the fuck? Man, dude, all these names, like when you look at it, you're just like, what the fuck? Oh, there's Rich Swann, Cruiserweight Open. Mr. Anderson, he's ranked 118. Wonder if he's still fucking up. There's Gargano, Chris Hero. Chris Hero still fat, or did he lose weight? So this is like the big list right here. Matt Hardy, guarantee Matt Hardy is going to be top 10 next year, man, especially after all the shit that he's doing. He dropped 27 spots, but he's going to move up a lot for next year's list. There's Gallows. Matt and Nick Jackson, 66, Sam, 67. That's funny. Remember The Miz was number one at one point? The Miz was number one, like for the 2011 list. Brother Nero's right here. Samoa Joe. See who the top 10 are. Wow, I'm surprised. EC3 didn't even crack top 10 for 2015? Huh. That's interesting. All right, top 10. Kevin Owens. El Patron Alberto was 9. Holy shit. Rusev at 8. Jay Briscoe, just because Jay Briscoe had a bunch of freaking ROH title runs. Randy Orton, Shinsuke, Roman, AJ, John Cena, and Seth Rollins was number 1 last year.